Today we're looking at Computer Science Principles, AP course, code.org 2024 version, Unit 7, Lesson 3, Parameters and Return Practice. And we're going to go into bubble number 1, level number 1, and take a look and see what we've got. So we have a blank screen, we have our toolbox, I'm going to close that. We've got a little something here that says we've got a call function. We're sending in the name Jesse, and then the function is called complement, and the parameter, is it called the parameter, is called name, and so it's just going to print out name, you're the best. So let's run it. It's going to say Jesse, you're the best, and so of course you could change your name to something else. Jaquan. Could run it that way, reset, run. Jaquan, you're the best, or Alice, you're the best, or whoever, you're the best. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Name the function, call the function at least 2 more times with different names. Done. I didn't even read the prompt for that. So, okay, make sure to click complete. What button are you trying to press there? You're trying to press finish, and then we're going on to the next level. Finish, continue. Okay, level 2. I'm going to stretch this up just a little bit. Hide the toolbox. What do we got? Random greeting Benjamin, random complement Benjamin, random greeting Raj, random complement Raj, random greeting Esmeralda, random complement Esmeralda. So for random greeting, we've got a list of greetings. I'm going to do Control minus so we can see our greetings. I'm going to squeeze this because I think we're just using the console. We don't really need to see that. Good day, bonjour, buenos dias, Mangandang Arau, and I can't read that one. So we're generating a random number. We're starting with the length of the list. Greetings has a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Random number 0 through 4. So that's the index. It's going to grab the greeting. Random number 0 through 4 is going to grab a random greeting, and then it's going to put the word. There's already a comma and space in there. Console log. We've also got random complement. Here's some clearly we're going to add code to that. Let's see if it says anything else. Let's run it. So we've got our 3 random greetings, but we need our 3 random complements. So we're going to grab the console log. We're just going to basically copy this, right? So we'll do it the long way, which is actually going to find console log and putting console log underneath here. We need our function. No, we need our array. So we're going to type complements in here. Complements. Square bracket, and then it's not going to let us. We're going to have to grab a random number, put that in there. Will it let us put it in there right there? No, why is it not letting us? Do we need to put a complement in there temporarily? How about like that? Yeah. So if we just put something in there, then we can drag the block. And indexes start at 0, and so we need to go to complements.length -1. Complements.length -1. There we go. And it should work. So we're going to reset it. We're going to run it. Oh, we forgot to put the name afterward. So we need to add plus name, and it's not going to let us put it in there unless we go to show text. So we've got to put it in between the square bracket and the parenthesis at the end here. So between the square bracket and the parenthesis, plus name. Oops. Whoa. Okay, so there it is. See that? Put a space there maybe. And let's see, go back to block view. Close the toolbox. Let's take a look at that. See if they're the same. We got complements, random number complements, -1 plus name. Alright, let's reset it and run it. Something's not right here. Do we need like a new line? What does it say in the directions? Apologies for the bell. Okay, so I think we need a new line somewhere. Where do we need a new line? It was already doing new lines for... Let's see what our output is. Oh, we're supposed to put the name at the front of the line. Okay. Did it say that? Well, not really. It just shows it here. Benjamin, your smile lights up the room. Okay, so we need to put the name in front of the complement. So let's go back to show text. And so the plus name is not at the end. It's before the complement. So it would be name plus complements. Okay, go back to show blocks. Reset it, run it. There we go. Good day, Benjamin. Benjamin, you have incredible hair. Oh, nice. Okay, we got that one done. Finish. Continue. Bubble number 3. This program works identically to the one you just wrote, but it has been organized differently because some functions return a value instead of logging them to the console. Alright, so what do we got? We've got greet and complement. Benjamin, Raj, Esmeralda, greet and complement. It does a function called random greeting, and it adds it to name. Random complement adds it to name. So this is like a new function. It's greet and complement. But then we're calling random greeting, we're calling random complement. Oh, I see. So it's just going to generate the random greeting and the random complement without adding the name. Okay, so that's clever. That we have still all the same greetings, it just gets a random greeting, and it returns that greeting, so the greeting comes to here. So it's either going to be good day plus name, like let's look at Benjamin. So it'll be either good day Benjamin, or bonjour Benjamin, or buenos dias Benjamin. And then it's going to say Benjamin, and it's going to grab a random complement. So here's the complements. We don't have a return here. We need we need two things. We need it to randomly select a complement, and then we need to return the complement. So what it means by return is that this function gets replaced by the complement or by the greeting. So when this random complement is called, first of all we have to create a random complement, so we need a variable. We'll do it the same as here. We'll do random complement. We're basically just copying the code, like not in a bad way. We're just duplicating what it is already. So we'll need a var x block. Is that what it's called? Declare a variable block. And so we're going to call that random complement. And then we need to have complements I'm going to see if I can close this box and still type in here. Square bracket. Excuse Leon, please. So square bracket, where's my square bracket? Square bracket, random number from 0, comma, oops, parentheses, 0, comma, and then that would be complements dot length -1, and then we need a parenthesis and a square bracket. What I'm doing is I'm just copying line 15. I'm just typing it in line 27 here. Now we could pull the blocks in and do that. Again, apologies for the bell. And so now we need to return. So if you go to functions, you'll see there's a return. So we've got 5 blocks available. We have the function, my function, and then we also have the call a function. Those two have been used in many of the programs we've done already. Now we're doing define a function with a parameter, call a function with a parameter, and return. So return goes right here. We just need return the random complement, and that's it. Now why is it giving us a flag? Oh, random complement is already defined. Oh, so we can't call it random complement. Can we call it random comp? Random comp. How's that? Okay, so that'll work. Let's run it and see if it works. I'm missing one. There they are. We got all 3. So we got each one of them. We're going to finish that and go to the next level. Alright, so here we are. We are looking at bubble number 4. It says run this program, see how it works. Write the code for month 2 season function using the comments to help you write your code. The output to the console should look something like this. Lenora is 15 years old and is a teenager. Lenora was born in March, which is in the winter. For the purposes of this level, winter equals January, February, March. Spring is April, May, June. Okay, that's fine. Let's run it. Okay, so it's telling us, I'm going to close the watchers. I can't close the debug console, but so it's saying Lenora was 15-year-old and is a teenager. Lenora was born in March, which is in the undefined. So these undefines, we got to fix that, right? So let's look at the code. I like that I can zoom in. So we have a function called name and age. We are sending in 3 things: the person's name, their age apparently, and the month they were born. And what are we getting out of this? It says displays information about a person to the console. Name string, the person's name. Age number is the person's age. Birth month is the month they were born. Okay. So I'm going to close the instructions. I'm going to close the debug console. So here's our function. It says age to description. So we've got name and age first. It takes name, age, and birth month. Name is age. So Lenora is 15 years old plus age to description, age. So, oh, we have a function that's calling a function, and the value is being passed as age to here, and then it's going to age to description. The birth month, well, this is interesting. It's like the value, let's look at March, for example. No, let's look at 15. So Lenora is 15 years old. It goes into this function called name and age, because that's the function that's called. Then the 15 goes to age to description. The age 15 goes to age to description, wherever that is, age to description. It looks at the age. It finds not an infant, not a toddler, not a preschooler, not a grade schooler, teenager. So it says description is teenager. It takes that description and it sends it back here, teenager. So it compiles that. So Lenora is 15 years old and is a teenager. So we just need name, was born, birth month. Lenora was born in March, which is in the month to season birth month. So we're sending March into birth month for month to season. So we have that written. Yeah, month to season. So we're basically, this one's a little bit more fun. We're going to get to put in a couple console logs here. Actually, we're not putting in a console log. We're basically copying this one. So yeah, this is going to take us a minute, I think. So let's find our if else. If else, plop that right in there. So if month is equal to January, or is the double straight up and down line pipe, month is equal to February. I'm going to close this toolbox here. Or, oops, show text, I guess. Pipe, have to hold shift, month is equal to March. Okay, so now go back to show blocks. So we're going to return month. Oh, we need season. So we need to create a variable called season. So a variable called season. And there is another way to do this, but that's fine. So month equals, season equals winter. Season equals winter in quotes. And then we're going to return season. That's going to be underneath. So return season. So this should work for Lenora. Let's see if it works for Lenora. We haven't written all the code because we haven't done the rest of the months of the year, but it should work. Let's see. Reset, run. Yeah, it says winter. Although we don't need a capital there, do we? Small w. And we don't need a period there, so reset and run. Nice. All right, let's write the rest of this then. So we just need, I kind of like to copy and paste that. Can I select just the orange with my, I can't select just the orange because I want to have, I can copy this though, can I? Copy, paste, paste. So I'm going to have winter, spring, summer. And then I need autumn or fall. Copy up one more. Oops. Fall. And then I just need to fill in these two boxes with months. So I'm going to go to show text. I'm going to copy and paste this. So I'm going to copy this entire phrase here from month January to month March. I'm going to Control C to copy. I'm going to paste it into the else if here and here. Then I'm going to go back to block view. Don't forget, you can always rewind, pause, slow down, whatever you need to do for the video as you're watching. And I'm going to make this smaller again so we can see it better. So our months would be April, May, and June. July, August, and September. All right, so that should work. Let's run it. So we got winter, summer, and fall. There we go. We could add another one to the top if we wanted to, but this is good. So let's finish this one. Continue. And we have 4 more little activities to do. So here we go. Longest word. Write a function that returns the longest word from a list of strings. Longest word. Looks like a lot of the code's already written. Run this program, see how it works. Okay. Running the program. So it's outputting to the console. There are many states, but the one with the shortest name is Iowa, and the one with the longest name is unknown. There are many dogs, but the one with the shortest name is Pug, and the one with the longest name is unknown. Okay. Notice that the longest word function simply returns the word unknown. Write the code for the longest word function using the comments and the code for shortest word to help. When it works correctly, this program should print the names of the longest state and dog names. Okay, so I'm going to close those instructions. I'm going to temporarily close this debug console. I'm going to close the toolbox. I'm going to minimize the app window over here because we don't really need that. Okay, that way we can kind of see stuff. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drag this app window totally outside of your view. I'm also going to move this scroll bar outside your view. Well, it's already outside your view. I'm going to move this debug console down, give us a little more lines, and I'm going to drag the top of my screen up. There we go. So that's about as optimized as I can get it. This way we can see 22 almost lines here. And then, can I still zoom in? I can still zoom in. That's cool. Alright, so what do we have? We have state names. It's getting a column from US states, so it's grabbing probably all 50 states' names in the US. State names. Dog names, it's getting a column. Dogs, it's grabbing all the names of the dogs. And then it's got a function called longest shortest. It's sending in the entire list of state names as an array or a list. It's sending in the entire list of dog names. And it's also sending in the word states, and it's sending in the word dogs. Okay, so we have a function that's just going to find the longest in a list and the shortest in a list. That's all it does. We're going to tell it that these are states. State names is our list of all the states, all 50 states. So function, longest, shortest. So it's going to send us the name of the list. It's going to also send us the list. There are many type of list. There are many states, there are many dogs. But only one with the shortest name is shortest word list. So it's taking the list of states or dogs, it's finding the shortest word. this one, the next line, it's taking the list and finding the longest word. Okay, so how does it do this? Okay, shortest word, finds the shortest word in the list. We give it a list and we return the shortest word. Okay, so our variable is shortest. The list, whatever the list is, we're starting at index 0. And we're going to say that's the shortest word. So we're looking at the first word in the list. We're going to say, hey, maybe this one's the shortest word. Then we're going to loop through the list using a transversal. A transversal is a loop where we have a if statement inside and using a list. That's the main thing. We're using a list and a loop. We're looking for the shortest dot length. Okay, so we're taking the shortest word, we're taking the length of that. So maybe like what's the first state? Is it Alabama? Alabama, 7 letters. Or is it Alaska? Alabama, Alaska. It's Alabama, I think. So shortest length, so it would have like the value of 7. And then we're comparing it to whatever state it's looking at, the length. And if the state we're looking at is shorter than the state we've already saved, then we replace that state with the one we're looking at. And then we return that after we've went through all the states. So we're going to do this exact same thing. Well, it's not the exact same thing because we're looking for the shortest one. So it's going to be a lot the same. So I'm going to show the toolbox. Adjust that window a little bit. We're going to need a variable. I mean, we could almost copy all this code. I mean, but we'd have to change a lot of stuff. So I think building it from the scratch might be a better idea. So we're going to have a variable. We're going to have a loop. Inside the loop, we're going to have an if. And just a plain old if will work. Okay, so there we go. And so we're going to call this longest. So we're going to take the list and we're going to look at the very first element, which is the index 0. Then we're going to go through that list length times list.length. So that's the same as this one. And then we're going to grab the list at I. So we're going to look at the list, whatever number I is on. So if I is on 5, we're going to look at list item 5. If the I is on 50, we'll look at list item 50. If it's greater than what we currently have as the longest, right? Because we're looking for the longest, not the shortest. So if it's greater than that, then we are going to replace longest with wherever we're at in the list. And then we have to return longest. So there's our code. So let's take a close look at it. So we're going to get a list. Doesn't matter what the list is. Whatever is the first item in the list, we're just going to call that the longest one so far. We looked at the first item in the list. That's the longest one so far. Oh, you know what I'm missing? I need dot length because we're comparing the lengths of these. Did you notice that I missed that? Okay, line 35. So show text. Because it's the length of the one we're looking at versus the length of the longest one that we're comparing. I would have caught that after we ran it, after it would have given an error. Okay. So like in the case of Alabama, 7 letters. Alabama, yeah. So we're going to look at the 7 is currently in longest length, and Alaska is next. That's 5 letters. So it's going to take Alaska. It's going to put it in there. You know what would be interesting? I'm going to do this. I'm going to have it print out every time that it gets a new longest one. So I'm going to find a console log. Console log is, what color is the console log? It's purple. There it is, yeah. So we're going to put a console log in just so we can see what it's doing. We're going to print out the longest. Anytime that we find the longest, we'll print out the longest. So that'll be interesting. Okay, reset, run it. So first it found Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Massachusetts, North Carolina, so that's the longest. There are many states, but the one with the shortest name is Iowa, and the one with the longest name is North Carolina. Arundel Terrier was the first one, then it found Alpaca Blue Blood Bulldog, Caucasian Shepherd of Chark. That must be like a nickname, and so it's putting that one in there. Okay, we're done with this one. Nice, good job. Let's look at the next one. Populations. All right, here we go. Let's look at populations. So we're going to click on populations. It says write a function that returns the state or country with the largest population. So that sounds like it's almost the same as what we already did. I'm going to minimize our window here. Let's run it and see what we get. It says there are many states, but the one with the smallest population is Wyoming, and the one with the largest population is unknown. There are many countries, but the one with the smallest population is Tuvalu, and the one with the largest population is unknown. Well, number 1, the one with the largest population state is California, and the country with the largest population is China. So we know what our answers are going to be, although India is quickly getting closer to population size. And by the time you watch this, India might have the greatest population in the world. As far as states, I think California has quite a lead. They have like 54 million people or something, or 30 something, I can't remember exactly. It's big though. Okay, so run this program, see how it works. Notice the largest matching string function simply returns the word unknown. Write the code for the largest matching string function using the comments and the code for smallest matching string to help. When it works correctly, the program should print the names of the state and the country with the largest populations. Got it. I'm going to move this out of your window so you don't need to look at that. I'm going to close the toolbox, and I'm going to close this debug console. There we go. We got more lines to look at. So we're grabbing 4 columns: the state name and population, the country name and population. Okay, state name, state population, country names, country populations. We're using largest, smallest as our function. We are sending in 3 values. Actually, we're sending in 3 lists. No, we're sending in states. Then we're sending in the state's name into the function. We're sending in the state populations. And so it goes into this function called largest, smallest. There are many type of lists. There are many states. Message. There are many states, but the one with the smallest population is smallest matching string, list 1, list 2. So it's taking list 1, which is the state names, and list 2, which is the populations. It's explaining what we're doing here. It's showing how we find the smallest state. So smallest number in list 2. The first number in list 2, so it just looks at the first number in list 2 and it says, okay, that's the smallest. It also looks in list 1 and it says that's the name of the state or country or whatever that goes along with that smallest number. It looks at the length of list 1, which is going to be the same as the length of list 2. It's going to go through this whole thing. This is a transversal. It's going to compare the smallest number versus that first number we grabbed. So it looks at the next one and the next one and the next one. Okay. So we're going to do basically the same thing for the largest number. So we're going to need a couple variables. 1, 2. And we're going to need a loop. And we're going to need a if statement. And we're going to need a couple x equal assignments. We're basically just copying this code. We're going to need a return. Okay, so you know what I'd like to do, just so I can see this better, temporarily, not forever, I'm just going to lift this up above these comments. That way I can just scroll a little bit. I'm going to close this toolbox. Alright, so we want the largest number, largest num. So we're going to look at list 2. We're going to look at index 0. That's our largest number. Then we're going to look for the largest number, largest. Sometimes it won't let you type if you close the toolbox. So I'm going to open the toolbox. Largest num matching string. So either the name of the state or the name of the country. We're going to look at list 1. Whatever is at index 0, we're going to grab that. Then we're going to look at the length of this list. So list 1 dot length. That's how many times we're going to loop. And then we're going to see, I keep on looking up and down here, right? It's almost the same code. List 2, we're going to look at item I, and if that is greater than the largest num, then we're going to replace it. So largest num is going to become that list 2 at I, and our largest num matching string that will do the same for the largest sum matching string. And then we're going to return just the largest num matching string. And let's see. It doesn't want me to click in there, which means I'm going to have to go to show text. And I'm going to actually just copy largest num matching string. That way, if I make an error, and then we can go back to show blocks. And then I'm going to pull that function underneath our comments again, because the comments go along with that function. And we can take a close look at that real quick. So basically we're getting a list of a bunch of words and a list of a bunch of numbers. We're going to look at the list of numbers, the first number in the list. We're going to call that the largest number. We're going to look at the first word in the word list. We're going to call that the num matching string. So for the country, for example, it's going to give us the first country and how many people are in that country. It's going to go through the list. We're just going to use list 1 for the length, but the length of list 2 should be exactly the same. It is exactly the same. We're going to compare that largest number versus 0, index 0. So first it'll do index 0. Of course it's equal, so nothing changes. It'll look at index 1. If index 1 has a bigger population, then that's what it'll do. And then if it is, it'll take that number and make that the largest number. It'll take that state or country and make that the matching state. All right, let's run it and see how it works. Wait a second. So I sent back, this should have been list 1 right here. Okay, so let's try it again. Sorry about that. Reset, run. California and China. Now, I'd really like to see it working on this, so I'm going to put a console log in again, just here. And the console log is going to say largest num matching string. So that'll be the name of the state or the country plus space. I'm going to put a colon and then largest num. So what this is going to do is every time it finds a bigger state or a bigger country, it's going to print that out. Okay, so I'm going to reset it, run it. Okay, so it starts with Arizona, and then by the time it gets to California with 38 million, that's the biggest. For countries, it starts with Algeria, but Argentina has more, but Bangladesh has more, but Brazil has more, but China has more. It doesn't even need to, I mean, it has to go through the rest of the list, but there we go. All right, good job. We've only got 2 more to go. I'm going to leave those 2 for you to do on your own, and let's just take a look at those and see what they say. We've got random top 20, and we've got sleep in. So this one, write a function that returns a random index from a list, then uses it to program in a program that prints out a random tracks information on the Spotify 50 list. Sleep in, create a program that determines if it's okay to sleep in or not. All right, those both sound good. Good luck on your project. If you have suggestions or hints for people who've watched this video, please make sure to put those down in the comments.